What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? Guys, we're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about first, about the market / this NFT craze that's going on. Like, we just had a flash crash. I want to make sure you know exactly what that means. Secondly, I want to highlight a project that I think is going just to be incredible, not just for the current drop for those NFTs, but long-term as well. Third, you know how we do it. We got to do some giveaways because, people love giveaways. So we got to fuel that too. I want to start by first asking you, if you don't mind, smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It goes a long way. The channel has been growing tremendously because of your support and your help. And it's the reason why I'm able to actually reach out to people and have them say, yeah, I'll talk to you. It's not because of me. It's because of all of you. So thank you for that. Now, let me explain exactly what's going on as far as the markets go. We had a flash crash earlier today. Bitcoin went down 10%. Ethereum is down 12%. But Solana is up 10% over the last 24 hours. Why? Because of awesome projects, and more specifically, projects in the NFT space. That's what's been driving Solana's price to go so high. I'm really excited about what they're doing, and it just goes to show that there is definitely a future when it comes to NFTs, which is why a lot of you have asked, hey, can you cover a project? Yes, and I'm going to do that right now. I record these after I actually do the interview so that I know exactly what's going to happen, and I can tell you it's pretty great. So I know it might be a little bit long, but stick around. It's 100% worth it. And after the interview, I'll make sure to come back and tell you a little bit more. So let's get right into the action.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you taking time to do this. So I know a lot of people know that I've been looking for an NFT project to, essentially get behind. And as we always do it here on the channel, I want to make sure there's some purpose and meaning behind it. And I came across what you're doing with Charity Pop. Before we get into that, who the heck are you?
Good question. Well, again, thanks for having me. I've been watching your channel and I love your content. So I'm happy to be here and discuss my project. But more importantly, like you said, my name is Trav and my background is in e-commerce and marketing. And I started a company called Flex Watches in 2010. And in 2011, I appeared on a show called The Real World on MTV. So that kind of put us in the forefront of watches at an affordable price point. And each one of our watches gives back to a different charity that we partnered with. So there was a great story to tell, not only through TV, but social media. And that's really where I got a passion for building brands and selling products online.
That's awesome.
So that's
yeah.
kind of what I do.
I kind of came across Flex Watches back in 2013, where I bought 3 of them myself. I had no idea who you were. I had no idea you even existed until I actually bought those watches. Like, oh, that's that guy. And then all of a sudden, here we are. I reach out to you, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And people know here on the channel that I enjoy crypto. I enjoy what's going on inside of the NFT world and everything. But I really want to make sure that there's a reason behind things, which brings us to Charity Pops. And you're successful. Let's be serious. Like, you don't need to do this. Why are you doing this project in the first place?
I mean, I guess I don't need to do it, but I really do need to do it, right? Because I see there's a lot of money being made in this space right now. And if I can redirect a little bit of that money towards a good cause or charity, then I'm doing a good thing. And with my platform and my network, I feel like if I don't do it, I would regret it. And I just, like everyone else, I see all these projects that are popping up that don't have that much depth to them. And I already have like a really solid team, like with a foundation, customers who support us, partnerships. So I just thought that this was like a really cool opportunity and extension of what I love to do. And I love NFTs too. So it's kind of just like a really cool bridge between the two for me. And I've been collecting things for a long time, not just JPEGs. And I just have been thinking of an idea for a long time of how I could create artwork. I've thought about how could I do artwork on canvas prints for different causes. I've thought about different t-shirts with different colors for causes. And now I'm like, wait a minute, the missing thing is the artwork. And now you can just sell the artwork. And of course, you could put it on hard goods and build brands around it and make content and all this amazing stuff. But it's just a really cool time where the digital art world is intersecting with kind of like e-commerce and brand building. So kind of why not,
So, I mean, the name says it, Charity Pops, right? Like, what are these charities and what are they all about? Why are you supporting them?
Yeah. So, Charity Pops is actually kind of a little play on word pops. It's really like pop art for charity. And our first collection is inspired by lollipops, which are fun and They give you that feeling of like magical kind of, when you're a kid watching like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know if I just dated myself badly on this, but that's the kind of feeling that I wanted to evoke, and I wanted to get different people involved from all walks of life. And through my experience with Flex Watches, I've realized that these causes have massive communities. And what is in the NFT space are these awesome communities. And I was like, how can I bring multiple communities together? And that's really like the core of this. It's like, how can I cross over Autism Society's audience? How can I cross over various different causes and groups to see NFTs in a different light? And then have the people in the NFT community see the causes in a different light, and have this all happen on the blockchain so everyone can participate and everyone can see it with full transparency. So to me, like, that's just a cool idea in general, not just for charity pops.
You keep saying cool, but I don't know if you realize, like, you're literally helping mass adoption. Like, that's huge for the space. Like, you're bringing communities that are not involved in the crypto world into crypto. Like, autism, for example. Like, I have a nephew who, who's on the spectrum, and it makes it so much easier for me to have a conversation with different groups of people saying, hey, this cause, they're doing this to support your cause. And now I have a conversation about, hey, this is what crypto is all about. It's not just, computer money, like people like to call it. Like, there is real value behind it.
You just said it right. And that was like the first question. And I answered honestly. It's like, this space needs it. Like, it needs to be disrupted a little bit. There is so much wealth being created, and I do want to create change. Like, that's the point. When I started Flex Watches 11 years ago at this point, people were selling like little Livestrong bracelets that were yellow and raised awareness for testicular cancer for Lance Armstrong with Nike. And it was a really cool concept, but no one in the watch space created a brand around different causes and had watches that represent different causes. And I've gone on to do this like at a pretty high level with Disney and this watch right here is a Star Wars watch, see the lightsabers and the stars on it. Like, I've been able to take this and say, I work with the Boys and Girls Club of America. And I have this awesome opportunity to create this grassroots campaign that Disney could never achieve because they're too big and they can't touch and feel the community. So I was able to do that over and over and over again with like the Minions and all sorts of different causes. And the Minions was actually giving back to the Autism Society. So I've created really big, like 7-figure partnerships over the last decade in doing this. And I'm just like, I'm about to disrupt the space, and that's cool. So that's the only reason I say it's cool.
No, I think it's awesome. Like, honestly, I do think it's incredible. And it helps in more ways than people even realize. That's the whole thing in my mind. This is going to be a shameless plug for you that you didn't never ask for. Where's Flex Watches? Like, how do people find out about those?
You can just visit us online, flexwatches.com, or on any social media. We're just at Flex Watches.
And how many watches can I give to the people that are watching the channel?
Let's do 10, 5 black, 5 white. That's the hunger cause and the veterans cause.
That would be amazing. Like,
all right, cool.
That would be phenomenal. Like, it's really awesome to be able to connect with people that actually care about causes and actually know that there's more to the world than themselves. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is everything.
Well, and from my standpoint, when I do these things, like, I donate to Model Citizen Fund for that black watch. And like, I see the impact that they're creating. They do these meals and the Thanksgiving, and they also do Christmas, and they do these awesome things in the LA community. And they give backpacks out to Skid Row with like hundreds of emergency supplies, not just food. It's like, that to me is cool. And it's ran by this guy that I really respect named Dan Fleischman. And like, we're in the same inner circle and community. And like, he's creating a real impact with his wife, Casey. And I want to be part of that. So like, this gives me a way to be part of something. And a lot of my friends from high school, right after 9/11, started going to Iraq and Afghanistan, and they became veterans, and they needed support and they need counseling, and they've suffered, still to this day are suffering. So if we have a watch and it's cool and it looks like people want to wear this white watch, I'm like, cool, this is a good opportunity for me to just connect this to something passionately. And it started with some planes on a white watch, but I realized the most impact I could create for them would be a plain white watch that people actually want to wear. And so there are various different angles to this. And when I see something as an opportunity, I don't say, I want to sell a bunch of white watches. I want to help a bunch of veterans, right? So then you tie these things and then you tell a story of that. And it actually is what you believe. Like, it's really what I believe. It's not like how many watches do we sell? It's like, how many trees did we plant? Like, that's literally what I say. Like, hey, how many trees did we plant this month? Because I know what that means. I know how many watches we sold. I know what the revenue is, but I don't care. I don't want to post that I made X amount of sales. You know what I mean? I want to say I planted 200,000 trees. It's way cooler. So,
no, I mean, and again, this is the reason why, having a conversation with you just lines up with exactly what we're doing here with this channel. I can't tell you how many messages I'm getting on a daily basis about, hey, I'll pay you X amount of dollars if you can feature me, if you can do this, if you can do that. And how much are you paying me?
I'll give you 10 watches. I'll give you one too. You get one watch.
Like, honestly, this is like not even about money. Like, I'm not doing this to try to make a buck out of anything. I want to make sure that people hear what's important, that people get involved and connected with projects that matter. And,
I watch your channel and you put out great content, and it's like, of course I would talk to you. And I appreciate you bringing me on. And like, we've been texting back and forth, and like, I've been excited about this because I want to educate people too, man. Like, I actually do that for free. I have 700 people in a program at Shopify called Shopify for Startups. And I'm a Shopify partner and quote unquote, a Shopify expert. But what's next in e-commerce? NFTs. So how is Shopify going to be a marketplace? How are they going to give their brands the ability to do this? So I'm figuring that out with Shopify. And I'm like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's a case study. Let's figure this out. And so with the partnerships I already have, I'm not trying to like go launch something random. I'm trying to literally educate others so that other brand owners could, not that I own, other brand owners could literally copy me and be like, oh, that's what they did. That's how they took their artwork, printed on demand, put it on canvas prints, put it on t-shirts, put it on watches, put it on shoes, put that product on influencers and celebrities, made content, created a lifestyle, and created a brand around charity pops. And all of a sudden you're doing installations, and I'm not giving something away right now, but charity pop-ups where we're actually physically going and making an impact in the community with people like my friend Charlie, who does that and has the Dream Machine tour and drives around the whole country helping people, making dreams come true. I would love to have a dream pop, right? So those are just ideas that may come to fruition, but there's 50 of them. And we only have 25 drops. So this is like, whoa, let's build a community. Let's get something really big going. And then let's create a DAO. And let's let artists and let's let people in a community submit artwork, vote on artwork, pick causes that align with the artwork, or vice versa, go backwards, find charities to give on behalf of that cause that make an impact. And it becomes a flywheel. I mean, this can just be an ongoing online fundraiser for people. It doesn't have to be an NFT massive collection drop. Just be a platform. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's go back to Charity Pops, because I want to make sure people actually get to see this and see how it works and be able to follow this project. I don't want to say start to finish, because it sounds like it's never going to finish, which is actually even more exciting. But this initial drop, what we're doing right now, what's going on with that? How do people find it? How do people get involved? And what is it all about right now?
Okay, let me break this down real quick. All right. So the total supply in this whole thing is over 43,000. So it seems like a small project, but it's actually like way bigger than what most people are used to. Okay. So each collection, there's 1,750 charity pops and one unique one of one pop, which I don't want to say too much right now, but that one of one pop is something special happens with it. There's 5 total causes. There's 3 total designs per cause. And then there's 3 levels, and then they are numbered. So you can have like a 1 of 50 at the highest level, which would be the most rare card for that cause. And the reason that that's important is because later on, that's going to play into the DAO and give you the ability to vote. So you get more voting power the more cards you have and the higher value they are. So that's the game here. That's what we're doing. We're gamifying artwork, and we're building community around these causes with existing communities. with these causes.
That's awesome. Like where can they get it, and how much are these things?
So they're gonna be on charitypops.io. And probably any Charity Pops domain you type in will forward there, so don't worry. And they start at 0.25. There's 1,000 available, and they worked their way up to half an ETH and a full ETH for the premium pops, which at this point everyone's already trying to sweep those. So I feel like those are going to be the ones that really sell well and make the most impact, and that's what's so cool about this is off this first drop. And we haven't talked about this, but the way this works is off the first drop, immediately 60% goes to the different costs. So if I sell $10 worth, $66 is going there. Okay. Of that, it's going to get split into 2 wallets. There's going to be marketing. There's going to be OpEx. I've already spent the amount of money that's going to be in those wallets personally launching this project, but I'm not going to touch it for that. It's only going to go towards the next cycle and the next cycle. And each time we do 5 drops, it goes up 10%. Till the last 5 drops are going to be 100% funded by me and the company. Hopefully the community is big enough I don't have to spend the kind of money I'm spending right now. But the goal is let this thing cruise to zero and donate all the money. And I'm not going to take money out. I'm definitely going to be a collector. And I'm definitely going to be feeding the streets and getting the people in the community working on this and having the most pop in Discord, social media channels, like influencers, collaborations, activations, products, photo shoots, team, you name it. I already have a team of 10. So there will be costs and there will be expenses, but I'm going to give all the money away at the end. So that's the goal. And that's like the coolest part about this whole project is like figuring out how much money we can make and how much we need to reinvest each drop and how much the community can just push it. Because they'll understand like, okay, they have to market, they have to sell. But if it sells out, they don't have to spend that money. And if we don't spend that money, it gets donated. So that's kind of the incentive for the community to become advocates. It's like the more you talk about this and the more people you get involved, the more impact we create and the less money we have to spend.
This is super backwards. You get that, right? Like, as somebody who's, been in business for a while, you're literally saying we want to sell out so we don't make money, so we can give more money away. Like, that's not usually how things work.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna collect them all, that. So I'm happy with this project, just doing well and helping people, man. Like that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk, the more excited I actually get about this. And now I'm actually starting to think, are we gonna have a problem with this website crashing, where we're gonna have too many people trying to buy these NFTs when it launches? I hope you have a good platform.
No, we built it. It's all custom. We have servers and stuff and backup servers. So I'm honestly not concerned about that, man. I've had 100,000 people concurrent on a website checking out. You know what I mean? I do e-com. So from me, it's more like I want to prevent as many fees as possible, like things like that for people, I just don't want everyone trying to buy it all at the same time. And then people don't get the ones they wanted. Like it's not one of those races to the end. Now I do want to sell out quick, but it's not the point. Like, because it doesn't change the impact. So if I have to spend a bunch of money to spray a bunch of these things out in the first hour versus like letting it happen over a day or two, the same impact happens and less money gets spent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to push and I'm going to push really hard. But in the future, I hope, that's my hopes, is that this thing kind of catches on and you won't really need to, because like my clothing lines or my watch company, like if I buy 10,000 of these watches, like I don't need to sell them in day one to recoup. Like Disney gives me a year. They gave me a 2-year deal, So like, I don't think like a lot of these people think where it has to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I expect it to happen, Yeah. So it's like, either way, I'm fine. And that's the cool thing about this whole thing. It's like, regardless, if I make 10 grand for charity, $1 million would be great, but 10 grand still was worth it. It's not like it's not worth it. And then we build a brand and it's like something that has longevity and has depth to it. And it's a real brand that has a real company and a real story with real people, not some like JPEG that was generated and launched in 48 hours,
Yeah, no, for sure. And then like you've explained a little bit to me how much work has been going into this, and a lot of people don't get it. Like, this is a big deal. Like, there's a lot of people involved, a lot of time of that goes into this, a lot of money that you have to put into it to make it right. And that kind of gets lost in translation sometimes when somebody sees a JPEG and they're like, "Oh, it's a JPEG." There's a lot more to it, right?
Yeah, man. Some of these communities that have been built are like stronger than I've ever seen. Like the ape community is so gnarly. Like, did you see the mutant ape drop and like the potion and all that? Like, that's wild. And like, I'm part of the cool cats. I buy a bunch of NFTs. I love the cool cats. Like, I don't know why. It's pop art, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably my biggest inspo. You know what I'm saying? That's like my Twitter Abby. Like, and I have charity pops. I should probably have the Trav pop on there, but right now I have a cat and I'm like in Discord with a cat in my head. Like, that's how much I rock with him. You know what I mean? But it's true. Like, they built such epic communities that I enjoy checking in with. I like going on Discord and looking at some of these like dinos and all these dudes that are like my friends that are crushing and like following on with the hundreds drop that just happened. Like, I didn't even buy a bomb. I just like was in it and like checked it out. Like, that's funner than going on Instagram and seeing a bunch of photos of people and like negative trolling. Like, it's sick. So I'm like excited about this. We just launched the charity pops thing. I see like over 100 of my friends in there, and like thousands of people are about to start pouring in through a lead gen campaign that I've already been running in the background because I do e-commerce, and I've been running a contest to give away $500 in ETH and to learn and follow this project and retweet this tweet. And I have like 3,000 retweets on it on Twitter and like 5,000 followers in like a day. And it's like actually the right target audience. So I'm about to migrate people into the Discord and start like really turning it up in there. And it's like, that's the community we're building right in that area. So for those listening, if you want information on this and you just want to follow along, you don't have to buy anything. There's gonna be so many opportunities to just like share, retweet, earn points. I'm gamifying the whole thing. I'm going to be giving away 20 NFTs in the next week. So just like stay glued to that and like watch what some of these partnerships and people do. You're going to be like, damn, these guys are like writing the book on this, right? Because we're doing it different. We're not doing what everyone's doing. We're literally trying to go against the grain. Like, everyone's killing it, making money, writing articles about themselves, how they're making millions. Let's give away millions. You know, like, that's headline, so group of guys, friends and gals, whatever, give away $1 million in an hour. Way cooler than, another photo of another Lambo. Like,
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I've done my research. So like, all right, who's Trav? Let me take a look at his Instagram. And you got like Logan Paul and all kinds of people in your feed. And then you show up with a little laptop saying, "Hey guys, I'm doing charity pops." This is like, you just seem so much more excited about this than hanging out with celebrities,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for real though, I lived in Hollywood the last 8 or 9 years. I was on a TV show for the last 4 years. And I moved to the suburbs in Orange County. Got a little home office, got a little studio next door. I mean, I'm feeling good, I'm just not stressed out and feeling like the hustle and bustle and the pressure of LA. And it has nothing to do with, celebrities or influencers. I just like to be disconnected from that stuff. And quite honestly, all those dudes are still in the DMs and they're all going to be buying the project. So that's all I care about. I just want their support, And if they see me doing well and I see them doing well, like I did a course, I did a lot of content with Jake Paul, which I'm sure people have seen. And the kid's like he's like the most entertaining person right now in like the world. He's knocking people out. He's boxing, making 100 mil in his hometown, getting tweets from LeBron. Like, that's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, and they're just out, everyone's out busy making impact, trying to like live their life. And this is kind of my thing. It's like, I'm going to make an impact in my way. I've been doing it for a decade with watches. And this is just like, I feel like another 10 plus years ahead of just something really cool that is way cooler than any party, influencer, celebrity, that's just it for me, man. It's a different, I'm older now too. It's just, I don't care anymore.
I was about to say, I think you've dated yourself with a Willy Wonka reference. So
I'm 35. I mean, it's like, I'm not, Jake's 23, 22, whatever. Like, And I don't want to be around all that anymore. So for me, it's just better to have relationships with people and get them a bag, you know?
So it'll be fun to watch the wallets that these NFTs are going to go into. That I just thought of that. That's going to be exciting to see who's picking them up, right?
Yeah. And
'Cause
we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, that's what's so crazy is like even after mint, that's where it goes nuts. Mint's gonna go crazy, but the aftermarket for this might be a little wild.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the people that are going to be picking them up. Like I
Or
know
just
that
people who I know are pushing it and going to be tweeting about it and stuff like that. Just a couple of the people that are going to like retweet would probably sell out. Like, well, we're not going to manipulate anything. It's just that's the hype,
Yeah, it's what happens.
People all see it and they all want it and they get the FOMO and they missed it. And so they buy it for more. And people who mint make money. That's just the game, I don't care if actually, it's not that I don't care. I want the community to make money. I want them to kill it. I want everyone to be crushing it because the more money they're making every time they're selling, there's a royalty that's going straight back to the charity. So it does, like I kept that part of it out of the conversation right now because we're not talking about aftermarket, but I'm not stopping here. I have a whole nother plan for the aftermarket stuff and how we're going to have control of where that money's going.
I just love smart contracts. That's awesome that you're doing that with it. Because at the end of the day, it's going to continue to generate revenue for these charities. So like I get people asking me, hey, can you cover some NFTs that are going to make money? It's like, sure, I can do that. But I've been looking for something that can do more than just make money. To me,
utility, it's beyond just help. It's like utility. Like, what does it do? Like, why do I need it? Like, for real, that right there, you can't see this other wall. I'll show you like real quick. I'm like a pop art guy. That's like a custom wall sign painting. Like this desk I'm sitting at right now is like Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Wayne Gretzky pucks, Dan Marino. Like I collect all this stuff. You know what I mean? A Tom Brady rookie card right here. Like, so at this point for me, it's just cool. Like I know I said that multiple times, but as a collector, it will be cool. And so people will genuinely like it and they will make money. So like I get how to collect things that gain value and I want the community to kill it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally a win-win, right?
Yeah. And I want them to feel good about that. I want them to be like, you know what? I'm spending an ETH, but I'm legit donating $1,500 right now. Like $1,500 to a hunger cause is
a lot of money.
15,000 meals. It's 15,000 meals. Bro. 10 cents a meal. Look at like Feeding America and all these big companies.
I'll give you my insight into this. I'm buying some as Christmas gifts.
I know, but like
no, but like as Christmas gifts. Like to me, this is something I can give to somebody and say, "Hey, I got you this NFT." But then it's not just an NFT. It's like, but it did more than just get you an NFT. A picture or something. You actually did this.
In so many ways, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because you're going to buy it, you're going to give back. And you're going to give it to someone who's going to feel good and get it. But guess what? It's going to get more valuable. So it just keeps donating and it keeps making more money. And then one more time, when they sell it one day, if they do, windfall of cash, give back again. So it's like, and it goes on to the next person, and the whole history is there of how much money's been raised and how many people have held it, what the price is. It's like the coolest thing.
That's so awesome, man.
I can't wait. Like the future of it is so much cooler than like the idea now is cool, but like when the community and the people and the things happen that like you're talking about, the gifts, that's a great gift. That is a great gift. I was like, wow, maybe I just said that. I was like, I should buy like 5 just to send out for gifts. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Like that's the coolest thing.
Like how awesome would it be for you to say, give an NFT to somebody, but you're not only giving an NFT, you just say, hey, you just help, you help feed this many people. Like that's super awesome.
It's the coolest part. And on top of all of it, I have a kicker for everyone. We added a partnership on Wednesday. Wait, what was on? Yeah, it was on Wednesday. We announced it Friday. So if you go look back on the social Friday of last week, we are partnered with EcoDrive, and these guys are carbon emission experts. They're studying the entire process of the blockchain and minting NFTs and everything I'm doing. And they're going to try and figure out how to offset the emissions. And we're starting by planting a tree every single time I sell an NFT. So these guys are going to help me offset with a goal of being neutral. And if we get this big enough, this community could potentially, I'm not making promises, be carbon negative, meaning we help the environment so much because there is not just the trees, there's the environment cause. So through the environment cause, if we fully sell out, we can be donating over $200,000 over and over and over and over and over again. And the amount of reforestation and ocean cleanup and recycling of plastic and saving of whales that we can do with that amount of money, and the people that are involved in those causes, it's crazy. I'll tell you because I've talked to them already. Like the movie stars that you guys know that support the environment have already reached out about the project. Already. I've already been on the phone with people from these people's camps that you've seen in documentaries talking about this stuff that are literally movie stars. And they're like, this is the coolest thing. So if we can pull this off and get those types of people behind us and create this type of impact in the environment, it's just game over. Like it's the coolest thing that I will have done in my life. That's why I say that word, you know?
Yeah, I think you're wrong with one word you said. Yeah, I think you said if. I'm looking at this when
Yeah.
when
I mean,
for sure.
the reason I say if is because people are going to spend money on these things. And I want to be very careful and just be honest. And this space is new and people are losing a lot of money. Some people are making a lot of money, but other people are buying things like, I saw a very popular NFT's floor drop quite significantly the other day, last week. So I don't want people to just think that from the charity world, like, hey, I'm just going to buy this. And like Trav said, I'm going to make a bunch of money, because I want you guys to believe in what you're buying. I want you to love the artwork. I want you to love the project. I want you to believe in me and the team and see the impact and like feel passionate about the project. I don't want you to just buy it because Trav said that you guys can make money and take advantage of like this situation or charity. It's the last thing I want.
Trev, I talk about projects and always say that there's like two big things when checking out projects to see how viable they are. And number one is always having a clear team, knowing who they are, that they're actually public people and not hiding behind, a fake JPEG and some random name. And secondly, it's the transparency of things. Like, are they being, transparent with how they operate? You cover both of those items. Like you're good in my book as far as research goes. Like, and that's the thing. Like I tell people, I don't need to know anything about the project. If I know who the person is and I know that I can trust and believe in them, like just take my money. Like I don't even care about what they're doing. Just take my money, honestly. I really do go that far.
I mean, that's how I invest, right? I invest in entrepreneurs, a lot of times solopreneurs, and I'm just investing in the person because they'll figure it out. If they have to pivot, they'll pivot. And I will. That's why you're saying that. If the first collection drop didn't go how I wanted, that the next 24 would. So it's like, we're figuring it all out. And I don't want to say I'm an expert in this because no one is. It's so brand new and no one's done what I'm trying to do at this moment. So I can't wait to see the bigger tech companies come into play and start to really provide the train tracks for all of us, because it is hard to build smart contracts and get people set up with MetaMask and do wallet connects and, having them open the app and open their browser. And it's just so many different things that we have to walk people through in education. And that's part of the community. That's why I literally, if you've DM'd me before and you're like one of my fans that I posted about that came here, I've helped you probably asked me how to set up a MetaMask or like buy an NFT. And I've sent you support documents or articles or like a voice memo, because that's what this is. Like I used to sit on Clubhouse and just talk about it for hours for free. You have to help people. But once this gets adopted, once causes adopt it, artists start to use this as their medium instead of looking for other different ways to commission artwork and stuff, and they start to put their focus here, big brands already catching wind of it. I would say 1% of the money that's planned on entering into the NFT space from the corporate world has actually hit 1%. Like you're talking like Coca-Cola, Visa, maybe like a soccer team. Like everyone's doing it. Everyone is doing it. Gucci, Louis, every brand you've heard of is doing it. I can just do it faster because we're smaller. So they're all doing it. And the amount of money that's going to get pumped into artists and tech in this space, whew, like Ethereum is going to go crazy, dude. Like it's only a matter of time. I mean, all these 100%. All these blockchains are going to go crazy. I think they actually are going crazy. What am I talking about? They're going crazy.
It's happening already for
it's
sure.
Happening. Every single coin I have is going crazy. I don't even get it. So it's at this time, like I'm being cautious. I bought enough NFTs. I'm up enough. I'm like, all right. Actually, you know, it's funny. I calculated it. I spent more on this project than I made off NFTs.
Hopefully that makes you feel good, right?
But it's hilarious. It's hilarious. You know, I'm always talking about NFTs and how to make money on NFTs, and then somehow I spend all the money I made on NFTs. But it feels good, you know? Like I have to do this.
And talking about that, this is something I heard while you were talking. I don't think you even realized you said it, but I'll start with me and we can close with this because I think this is actually the most important thing of all for anybody watching, that it goes beyond charity pops and it should be a way for people to actually live their frigging lives. Like, honestly, I've told people, I don't care how big, how famous, how rich I ever get. But if I know that I helped at least one person get to their next level, and I can honestly say that my legacy is helping people and helping the next generation, or even, like I said, just one person, that is fulfillment for me. And I heard you actually say that while you were talking. It just comes out naturally. Can you just touch on that for a second and let people know? Is that the way you look at things? Is that how you want to move forward?
Yeah, bro. I mean, publicly, I wouldn't even promote a brand unless they had like the same DNA as me. I grew up pretty differently than most people probably think. My family is from Africa. I'm a firstborn generation. My dad may or may not be a little bit on the spectrum, but is a really successful doctor. And, you know, like for me, since I was a little kid, I kind of had what I needed, not in a spoiled way, but like I just wanted to help people. And like I would invite the kids in the special needs programs to my birthdays, and I'd volunteer for my PE or like for my elective, I'd volunteer a special ed class and help out. And like for me in my middle school, for me, that was like fulfilling, and I didn't understand what it was. And then when we started Flex Watches, my co-founder's mom had started this breakfast program down in Mexico. And we were like just trying to sell watches. Honestly, I was like, all right, what can we do? I will set up a table outside this church, and every time someone buys a watch, we'll donate $20. So we sold watches for $40 and donated 20. And we donated, it was like $16,000 or so. Actually, sorry, we donated $8,000. And then we decided to go down there and see the impact. And then when we saw the impact and I saw these kids, they're like really little kids, and they don't have access to running water. All the cooking was done over an open flame. They're sleeping on dirt. They're like running around with no shoes, playing soccer. The dogs in the street are stray. I'm like, whoa, this is like 2 hours for me, you know? And that like kind of shook me a little bit at the core. We just stayed there that night and I was like, damn, like how can people just help people? That was the whole thing. In the first Flex video ever, we said, people helping people. And it was like a video of us down in Mexico with these little kids. And we went there and we donated everything. We were like, who cares? Let's give away the other $8,000. Let's build the kitchen. Let's build the community center. Let's do all this stuff. And we went back. And that impact from seeing dirt to community center to a kitchen, volunteers line out the door, kids smiling, eating pancakes, little girls growing up, taking pictures with them. Like that to me was like surreal. And I haven't found a lot of different impacts with the money we've donated that did that to me. I've like felt good about it. Like, oh, cool. We provide water to these people in Africa, or we help these people, whatever the cause was, you know? But like that for me, I felt the impact. So like I search for those anyways, personally. And I volunteered when I was in LA at the arts, free arts, and it's all, kids that have been going through trouble at home and have either been abused or their parents have gone through a divorce, and they sit at the court all day. And so they dedicated a floor of the courtroom to do arts and crafts. So I go volunteer there. Flex started donating. I did an arts watch just to do that, And so for me, I find those. And I'll say one more, my favorite actually, the Autism Society in San Diego. I've sent thousands of kids to surf camp and summer camp by selling a watch that raises awareness for autism. And so that watch it's the biggest impact we've made actually in that community. And it's so local. And I remember seeing these kids go surf out in Pacific Beach when I used to live there. And now I have a restaurant in Pacific Beach where I used to go eat. And now the surf camp is down the street from that. And it's around the street, down the corner from my old office. And so like, even though I live an hour away, I'm like, damn, that impact is real. And that is cool. And they send me awards and like, thanks so much. And it's like, thank you guys. Thank you for letting me hand you this massive check and take a photo and create this legacy of that person. And it's not because I'm inauthentic that I'm like making the content. I'm just sharing the impact that people who support me are affording me to have. So that's why I'm not trying to leave a legacy of Lambos, Ferraris, PJs, all that. I'm trying to leave a legacy of use your time, literally, to make a difference. And so now I'm like, oh, how else can I use my time? And some of it's just pure capital, investing in entrepreneurs. That makes a difference. That creates jobs. That creates stimulation in the economy. Those companies work together and service each other. Like in my portfolio, I have a social media company that buys, sells, and grows Instagram accounts to help my e-com brands. We have, just a variety of different utility type companies that work together. And it's kind of like all individual entrepreneurs who scratch each other's back, my media buyers, my email marketers, right? And so it's a sense of e-com community. And now I'm just like bringing those people into this world of like giving back and using the power and knowledge and skills that they have to make an even bigger impact than these causes can for themselves, because they're so busy dealing with the problem. These parents with kids with autism are busy dealing with their kids with autism. They can't go raise money for the camp. They just need to take their kid from home to the camp so they can breathe for a couple hours. So we're out here like, hey, we have all this ability to make content and market and sell stuff and create commerce. Why can't we do good with that? And then that's the legacy I want to live. Like, that's literally it. Hopefully this little thing gets cut up and they play this one day.
Nope, not going to get cut up. People are going to watch from start to finish.
Not cut, but like for me, one day, like that's it. Like, oh, that guy did that thing, made those watches, donated some money, and like, cool. Like maybe I'll do one significant thing in my life that like people will be like, oh, that guy planted like 1 million trees or like whatever. But just want to be known and remembered as someone who helped. That's it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And this actually turned out to be about 100 times more exciting than I first expected this to be. So I really thank you for the time, for the insight as to how you're making things happen for a good cause. I mean, I do want to see more of this in the space. And like you said, the fact that you want to teach others to do it themselves as well, that means the world, because you're not looking to keep it for yourself and say, oh, Trav is the one making it happen. It's no, like maybe I started it, but I want people to go out there and do more. That's awesome, man. That's so awesome.
I really appreciate you having me, and that ripple effect, butterfly effect, whatever is everything. Like, someone hit me up this morning, a celebrity who's launching next week. And they're like, should I donate to a charity? Should I donate to a fund? I know XYZ person. I was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. They're pushing back their launch a few days so that they can now raise money for charity. Like that right there, regardless of the success of my project, was worth it. This dude's going to go raise a bunch of money.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well,
you know what I mean? And just because I was on my laptop and my Instagram story being like, I built this thing and I did this thing, he responded. are you up on Discord? What's good with that? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing the NFT thing. He's like, I want to put you with my developer. Check out my site. I was like, looks good. He's like, do you think we should give back? I'm like, hold up, let me talk to your guys. And I said a list of things that I would do differently. And they're like, we'll push our launch a week. We're going to attach a charity to it. And you'll hear about it from me because I'll buy them and I'll support them now, you know?
That's so awesome.
That's what I'm going to do now too. I'm only going to invest in projects. By the way, if you want me to hit me up to invest in your project, I'm not buying your NFTs unless you do something good.
I love it. I love it. That's the way to go, man.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for having me again, man. This was awesome.
No, absolutely. Thank you for the time. I mean, and I'm definitely going to follow up and make sure I, check out what's going on with Charity Pops with these drops as they go on. I'll make sure to cover them so that people see that it's not a one-shot thing. They'll have a lot of opportunities to get back.
Yeah, and make sure you guys follow him on social because I'm going to give away an NFT. You just got to be following him. So,
all right.
Stay tuned.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick a random comment from below to give away one of those watches to. So if you would like to get one of those watches that, Trav is giving out for free, I wasn't even expecting him to do that. So that's awesome of him. I'll be the one shipping it, but I'll make sure that you guys get it. Just leave a comment down below and hit the like button because that's what drives people coming to the video and actually watching it. It's the engagement from those comments. It's the likes that you guys do. Even the sharing goes a long way. But thank you so much. I want to make sure I cut it here so that it doesn't go too long. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care now. And for the people who watch into the very end of the video, here's the deal. I am going to pick a comment. However, if you guys include in the comment which cause you're most excited about for this project, and they have animals, autism, breast cancer, environment, and hunger. So pick one of those 5 and in your comments say, I'm excited about blank, just tell me what cause you're excited about. I'm going to do an extra drawing. So drawing 1 will be for a watch. Drawing 2 will be for a second watch. And if you have that, you can only participate on that second drop. Guys, thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.